Hey, what's up, y'all? So I try to make a little backdrop right here. Looks kind of whack, but so this is gonna be my. Now I'm gonna go just probably do one video a week. It could be two, but mostly it's gonna be my reaction to the after the game. Probably midweek, I'll give you a reaction a couple days after what I thought about it. You know, my channel's not just Raiders, so. But I've been a Raider fan since I was a young buck. So I just want to start off by, my review of preseason. Shout out to all the players. As you get older and you become a fan, you start to realize, hey, the business side of things that, a lot of these guys are only getting paid to play preseason just to, to work through that television time. The Raiders as a business and corporation, they got to finish out the game. So a lot of these guys, you see a lot of these guys are playing as if they're starters. They're playing the whole game. And they're not even going to make a job. They're just pretty much trying to play to make another squad, hopefully, maybe make the practice squad. And shout out to these players, because, they're dogs. They're just feeding their family, kind of like boxers who fight these up-and-coming fighters and, just need a paycheck. And, that's a pretty brutal sport to do that. But so shout out to these guys. These are journeymen, and God bless you guys on your journey in the pros. I want to shout out guys like Austin Walters, one of the running backs, in my opinion, the running back that I've seen with the most wiggle in his hips, a la Emmitt Smith, a la Barry Sanders, a la the guy Taylor, playing for the Colts right now, one of the best running backs in the league. These guys with a lot of bounce in their hips. I see that a lot in Jacobs, Jacobs looks a little heavy right now, but we'll get to Jacobs after. So shout out to these guys like, who finished off these preseason games for us. A lot of guys that we don't remember their names. I'm having trouble right now, but some guys that I think that did shine, like I said, Austin Walters. To me, Britton Brown, shout out UCLA alumni. He actually went to high school somewhere in the South though, and he went to UCLA. And now he's playing in Vegas, and I think he might be a better back and a more ready back than Amir White that we have. Is it Amir or is it Amir White? I think it's Amir White, the other rookie that we have, number 35. And Brandon Brown, he took a lot of the load during the preseason. And, we didn't see none of our other veteran backs. Bolden, I think he's going to start because I was watching a video on YouTube and Bolden was actually on the first team, getting the first team reps. And I know we had this big old fullback, number 45, huge. Dude is like 6'5", man. And he's our fullback. It's crazy because when he's actually playing, he doesn't look that big, but for a running back, he's huge. So I think that guy Bolden, I still think Jacobs has a lot to prove. I think Jacobs is still in a position where, I wanted to get to this idea when I talked about Carr, because I don't want to go on a tangent, but this idea that, this is really a stem. This is a subplant of the Patriots organization, of Bill Belichick, of even Nick Saban, because Bill Belichick actually coached with Nick Saban, and then Nick Saban just decided to stay in college football. But they have a really big tie together. I think one of them mentored the other. I think Nick Saban is a mentor for Belichick, or vice versa, and McDaniels is a product of this. So he brings imagine you bring all your guys over here, and then it's a whole new coaching staff, and they even bring their own players from over there. Stidham, Bolden. I think even that fullback is from the Patriots. You got guys like Hollins who played with McDaniels, I think, in Miami. And for someone like Josh Jacobs, he's younger. This is the first time he's experiencing it. Carr has experienced this regime change after regime change where he's actually dealing not just with a new head coach, but the new head coach's positional coach, trainer. They might even bring a guy that they're comfortable with coaching. And like for someone, Josh Jacobs, that's new for him, so he might be struggling with that right now. I hope he's taking on the challenge of this, because it's a challenge, a personal challenge, when you go into a room and nobody really knows you, but you've been in this organization. But it's a interesting thing going on right now in the Raiders organization, and I hope this makes Jacobs a better player. I still think he has a lot to prove. I'm interested in seeing how much they're going to use these rookies, like a Zamir White, if they're going to use Brent Brown. I'm also thinking so that's a running back. So then, we do have even Abdullah. We still have Abdullah. We didn't see none of Abdullah in the preseason. We didn't see none of Brandon Bolden in the preseason. We did see Jacobs a little bit. They got rid of Drake. Shout out to Drake. He just got signed by the Ravens. I think it's a great fit, especially for that offense. Running quarterback. Then you have a really good pass catching running back, very athletic. He's like a receiver once he gets the ball in his hand, and he can actually run through the tackles. He's pretty tough, and so I think that I'm glad he got picked up. Shout out to Drake or Kenyon Drake, and okay, so that's for the running backs. I wonder where Jalen Richard went, man. As a Raider fan, I'm like, what's up with Jalen? I gotta look that up. If you guys find out where Jalen went, leave a comment. Hope he's doing well, man. Great production for the Raiders. Great production from Jalen Richard. Shout out to you, bud. Okay, so guys in the preseason that stepped up, a guy like number 93, what's his name? Bauer? Is that his name? He's been getting a lot of sacks recently. I think he needs to control his energy a little bit, because during the end of the game, I noticed he slows down tremendously. And who else did pretty good? Shout out to Webb, a DB. We got rid of Mullen, but we actually got a trade for him. And partially because he's been hurt. He played his whole rookie season. I think he might have missed a few games. But his second season, which was last year, he missed a tremendous amount of time. He's missed a lot of training camp and a lot of the off season. He recently came back, but it's kind of difficult, especially with the new coach. And some people's time isn't as flexible. When you're not needed, you're not needed. Especially with guys like Nate Hobbs that stepped up. Guys like that have Rocky Sin, a proven back in the league. And I got Anthony Averett, I think it was an ex-Ram a couple years ago, a veteran, a veteran journeyman, had proven himself. And yeah, I mean, Mullen would have been a great back. It's just, he's actually pretty big and he's not slow. He's actually a really good DB. It's just, you got to be consistent, so he's on the Cardinals now, which they're a contending team, so it's a good squad to be on. And he got picked up off the contract. So I went to DBs. Who else stepped up? Who else can you say did a really good job? I think Keelan. I was a little thinking Keelan Cole. He's kind of I wasn't not really hyped on him, but he does stand out towards the end of the game. He gets some key receptions. I kind of like him a little bit. He does catch the ball. He's pretty tough. He did drop. I think he did make a few mistakes. I've seen a couple times. Or is it his blocking he doesn't really block that well. That's Keelan Cole. I can see how they like him. I really like number 1, Something Johnson. I think he's really athletic. I like his route running. I like his stride. He's kind of like a Ruggs if you can get him open, I feel like he's springy like that. And I think he's going to make the team, Johnson. We didn't see so much of Stoner. We didn't see a lot of Stoner at all. I think they might get rid of him or maybe keep him on the practice squad. We didn't see none of our starting receivers, so we'll see what's going to happen. I'm excited, but again, I just want to wait to the season. So this takes me to that point. I think this is a season to see if our other guys are for real. And I'm talking about the Wallers and I'm talking about the Renfros. This is the season where we're going to see, are these guys really for real? Are they locked in? We're going to see how really focused were they, because now that there's another star there, how hungry are they for the ball? How hungry are they to be great, Is it beyond the paycheck? Are they comfortable now? Are they still in love with the game? Because I don't play the game anymore. It's easy to say, if I had that opportunity, I'll be so on fire. But when the opportunity comes, it's how great. So this is especially for Hunter Renfrow, he's going to be compared right now to his peer, and you know who that is? The MVP, bro, of the Super Bowl. The dog, what's his name? Cooper Kupp. Whose rookie season, he was playing so good, he might have led the Rams to the Super Bowl that year, but he got hurt. And for him to come back and be MVP a couple years later, That's what I mean. He's for real. So now it's gonna see if Hunter Renfrow is really for real, if Waller's for real, you know. Even Jacobs, you know, I think it's been 2 years in a row where he's a 1,000-yard rusher. Let's see how hungry he is in that competition room, you know. Is he gonna fight for that position, or is he just gonna let it go? As a coach, you want to see if a guy argues with you, if he's a fucking dog. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much my statement for the wide receivers. Also, I miss Zay Jones. Mac Hollins kind of seems like a similar receiver for Carr as a weapon, like Zay Jones was, because if he already had, you know, we had Aguilar, you could say that's Devontae Adams, and then we had Waller, you know, he's still there. Then we had Renfrow. But then a guy that was like, that we needed in key moments, you know, he had a Zay Jones. Is Mac Hollins that guy? I don't really know. And in my experience in sports, I actually, well, it kind of throws you off when the media was talking about Mac Hollins this, Mac Hollins that. You know, the Raiders media, if you guys follow them, oh, they're always saying, oh, Mac Hollins is so funny. Everybody loves Mac Hollins. Well, when you heard Mac Hollins speak, he wasn't like a goofy guy. You know, it kind of made it seem as if he was. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. He seems like a guy that works hard and stuff. But Zay Jones to me was developing. And I think he's on the Bills now, which is really good. I think he's going to produce for them for sure, because Zay Jones is a dog. You know, his dad was a pro football player, and players like that usually want to be better than their dad. And he was proving it last year. Some amazing catches last year. Even the last game of the season against the Chargers to get into the playoffs, that out route that Carr threw a dime, that only he could get it at his feet, and he did like a sliding catch. You know what I'm saying? That was beautiful. That was big time. And so we're gonna see if these guys are for real. I mean, Devontae Adams, in a sense, in 20 years down the line, if he just kind of like gives up football now, he's not gonna give us as much production as he did with the Packers. The world might forgive him still, you know. But guys like Waller and guys like Renfrow can easily be forgotten in 20 years. So we got to see where their mind is at and what they're thinking, you know, and how much they really love the game, you know. And so that's just my idea. Offensive line, we got rid of Alex Leatherwood. I don't know much about the offensive line in that game. I don't know much about even the guys we have. I do know about Colton Miller. He didn't play at all. You know, we got Andre James. I'm not sure if he played that much. We have Illuminor. We got the guy Parham. And then I heard of a couple other, like Cotton. I'm not sure how good Cotton is. I'm not too sure. The others, there's some other names out there, but I can't remember. I was watching some. Shout out to the YouTube channels that I watch. I watch Sanji, Raiders Network, and I watch Docs Entertainment. I watch Samoan Raider. There's some other, that's pretty much all I watch, pretty much. You know, so other guys might pop up. There's a young guy that he's pretty young. He does some work with Docs Entertainment. Also, Raid the Tape. I watch Raid the Tape, and so shout out to you guys. And what else was I getting at? Okay, so Tim Mullen. Oh, and then just to give you guys some insight, you know, I like to kind of I was looking up. I just typed on YouTube, you know, Raiders news, and not shout them out, but I guess the USA Today has like this sub segment. It's called Raiders Wire. People are always trying to steal content from real Raiders fans, you know. So, okay, John Gruden. He actually was at a Little Rock touchdown club. I guess these ex-football players or these people in football, these big dogs, I guess they have these buffets or these conventions, I guess. And John Gruden was invited. Little Rock, sounds like it was in Arkansas. So Little Rock Touchdown Club. And he actually spoke about his situation, and people were asking him questions. So in quotes, he said, "I'm not going to say nothing but honest things here. I'm ashamed about what has come about in these emails, and I'll make no excuses for it. It's shameful, but I am a good person. I believe that. I go to church. I've been married 31 years, and I have 3 children. And I still love football. I made mistakes, I'm sure we all have. I only ask for forgiveness, and I hope I get another shot. And he also goes on to say, there's a lot of misunderstanding out in the world right now. He also says he doesn't watch ESPN anymore because he doesn't believe its content is 100% pure, but only to gain views. And in quotes, we got to get back to reality. Okay, so that's Carr. I mean, not Carr. John Gruden spoke for the first time. That's what he says. That's his quote. And yeah, you want another shot? That's just another side note. Raiders news of the past, I guess. And God bless all the Raiders and everybody. So I talked about the O-line. I talked about the wide receivers. I talked about the running backs with Jacobs. I'm pretty excited. Don't know too much about Bolden. He is a very big back. His body is like pure pro ready. His body, you could tell he's learned his body. He's in shape. He's gotten to that premier running back to fit the scheme of today's game, especially specifically for the coach we have. You could just tell Brandon Bolden's body. I feel like Jacobs has a lot of fat on him. Jacobs seems like his body kind of gets big quick if he doesn't take care of himself. But then together, I think they could do great things. I think, we'll see. I'm interested in that. Like I said, the wide receivers, I feel like we don't really have a third running wide receiver, but we'll see how they use Matt Collins. They could use him in a screen game. He has a pretty big body. Is he physical? I'm not sure how athletic he is, but is he fast and physical? We could use him in the screen game. We could use him, and plays where we know he's strong enough to get some yards after the catch. Short and distance, short down and distance plays. The O-line, I just think Carr has been one of the best quarterbacks to get rid of the ball as soon as possible, and this is the best weapons he's ever had. It's the best team he's probably ever had. One of the most serious coaches in his prime we've ever had. So, and Carr's just getting older and better. So, I think we should be fine there. Injuries play a huge part for any team. So that's a big disclaimer for this whole video, pretty much. Now we'll go to the defensive line. I don't know. I think Max Crosby didn't have a lot of sacks last year. He had a lot of hurries, but he didn't have a lot of sacks. And, we did have number 51. He was on the other side, very strong. He missed a couple games because he was injured, but, and I forgot his name. I forgot his last name, but, and he's a younger guy than Chandler Jones. So we got to see, is Chandler Jones the guy who made him the guy? Is he still that guy who made the world know who he is? He's been consistent the past 5 years. He's had the most sacks, but there is a plateau and there is a downfall. There's a decline. And is that guy Bauer, is he good enough to be a third guy? Is Malcolm Kuntz gonna step up? Came from Buffalo, the same school as Khalil Mack. Because we got to go up against San Diego or LA Chargers. They got Bosa, they got Mack, they got that other huge dude, Young. I forgot his name, but any Charger fan I talk to, they know who I'm talking about. And they got great linebackers. They got a great offense, and the coach is pretty serious about his job. So I don't know about our defensive line. I feel like, are we gonna rely a lot on Max? We have 52, our linebacker. He just led the league in tackles last year. Jayon Brown, first year, young linebacker. He's really good. He had a pick in the playoffs. Not playoffs. I think he had an interception in practice against the Patriots. And he's actually pretty good in coverage because he played for the Tennessee Titans. I looked up his highlights. And then our third linebacker is who? Divine Diablo. I'm actually looking a lot forward to Divine Diablo. He's one of our youngest linebackers. He has that size and that athleticism. He has the name to him. And this is the first year he's actually going to be a starter. So I'm looking to see his energy, how much production he gives us. If he's going to be a dog, especially late in the game when we need him. Von Miller-esque, you know. He's a pretty big dude, so I'm interested in Divine Diablo. I think he was a safety in college. And our DBs, I'm really trying to see. I'm trying to see the size that Marie. We haven't seen Merrick that much, you know. We haven't seen our safety. We did see Abram a little bit, but so I'm really looking forward to seeing the development of Merrick, to see if he put some size on him, see his physicality, see as a safety, you gotta have an attitude, man. You gotta be a safety they fear. You gotta be a safety not one that they don't fear, not one that they're like, oh, he's not that physical. Being a safety on my team, one of the qualifications is physicality, and we got to see if Merrick has that. Is he going to be physical? Abram has that. I'm trying to see his development and his speed and his size and his mentality and his desire to be great, you know, because a lot of guys show up on TV, and when they do, it's either they're fucking up or they're making plays. And that's why superstars are so easily accepted, is because they make their game accessible to even the fan that is, or even just the casual watcher. You know, you see a girl, like she'll tell a casual story when she goes back to work. She hears her coworkers talking about football. Well, what about that Nate Hobbs guy? Because she probably hears her man talking about Nate Hobbs. Or she watches one game, she sits down, she keeps hearing this name, Nate Hobbs, or Derek Carr, or Devontae Adams. Like, you know, that's why superstars make themselves accessible to even the casual individual, and that's how they make the team. A la the DB Webb, number 48. He really shined this preseason. He made the team. He showed a lot of physicality. You know, Masterson, the linebacker. He might be our fourth linebacker. Showed out. You know, Britton Brown. You know, Ty something Johnson, number 1 on our team, making big plays. You know, so I'm trying to see that in our safeties for sure. You know, I'm curious also as Nate Hobbs. He was a nickel back, which is like he came in to guard the inside receivers, which are usually fast guys that go in motion. You know, I'm interested to see Hobbs now playing as a pure cornerback on the outside. You know, and also our other, like Rock Ya-Sin, other guys on the other side. And so we'll see, man. I'm really also very interested in seeing the schemes that our teams play. You know, these coaches seem as if their energy for the game is alive still, and their creativity, and I feel like they're there. They're at the forefront of the present time. You know, the best football's gotten in the development and where it's at. They're there right now. It's like with anything, like, oh, he's there right now. Oh, he's on right now. And I feel like as coaches in the game, you know, that's why you see guys like McVay. He's a Super Bowl champion now. I think it's like his second Super Bowl he's been to. You know, guys like McVay, guys with that energy, you know, I mean, it doesn't matter. I think that energy is obviously sustained. You look at Brady's career, you know. So, and look at Carr. You know, it would be such a beautiful thing if Carr could play the next fucking 5 years and win like 3 or 4 Super Bowls. He'll go down as one of the best ever. Look at how and Aaron Rodgers, what, he's like top 5 or top 10 best players in the league right now. Top 20 for sure, right? And he's really good, dude. He's one of the best throwers ever, bro. And they label him like, oh, one of the greatest ever. He's only won 1 Super Bowl. Carr throws amazing fucking throws too. Carr throws fucking awesome throws. Freaking Renfro has caught some of Carr's best throws ever in the past couple of years. Like in games we have to win, you know. And but it's just winning that Super Bowl. It's winning that Super Bowl, you know. And Carr's, you know, it's like artists when they die, and we go back and stand that we took for granted that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just an example. And I'm excited, man. I'm so excited for this season. We have a team. We don't need guys to, you know, Waller, you already had your fucking great year. Last year, Renfro had over 100 yards receiving. You know, Devontae Adams been consistent, you know. You know, Chandler Jones, you've had your record. You know, everybody knows what y'all can do. Y'all just have to complement each other. Everybody needs to complement each other. Just play as a team, you know, and win some Super Bowls, you know. I seen this article. It was on it. It was just, it like disappeared after a while. I tried to go back and find it. It says like, but it's from New York. The New York, I don't know, some New York paper was saying that, oh, some players are saying they're not getting along with McDaniel, but I didn't even bother to hear that, because you know what? We're dealing with a lot of young players that they have attitudes. They don't know much about life. They're taking for granted what they have. Some of them have egos. Some of them have been the best forever. So, you know, that could have been something with, I'm not saying this, but, you know, I'm sure this happens all the time. You know, we just hear about the productivity, but what affects the productivity is the player's mind, the player's focus, you know, the player's desire to be great. So, yeah, we never really get into that part of the game, you know. So I think, you know, Carr has proven that he's been through humiliation, man. And again, picture this, Carr, like, they bring in Stidham. Stidham's been playing the whole preseason. He's good. Carr hasn't played at all. If Carr's weak-minded, he could be like, I haven't played at all. Like, what the fuck? Like, but no, we're not in practice every day. You know, they must feel comfortable. Like, they must be producing. Practice must be like, man, dude, we're tired of going. Like, imagine if you're really serious and all you see is the defense that's on your team, but you have to go against them every day, and they're going against you. It's like you're tired of being against them already. Like, oh, we know everything about each other. You know, you can get really good that way, but you could also get really hungry to want to go play against another squad and showcase what you guys have been working on. And like, I think the Raiders are ready. I think it can't be a better game, because they're saying the Chargers are probably the best team in that division. I think they are the best team because they have a better defense than Kansas City for sure. Well, they do have Chris Jones, the defensive lineman for the Chiefs, is one of the best in the league. And but anyway, so and you know, we'll see. You know, I think the Chiefs still have a lot of weapons. They got some new running backs, some new springy, fast dudes that they love to have. The smaller wide receiver type of dudes that are quick and can take you deep. And but I don't know. I feel like the Chargers are a really, really tough team and a really strong team. I just feel like it. I think Chiefs are hard to beat in Arrowhead. They're very hard to beat in Arrowhead, but I think they're beatable. I think Chargers are improving, and they're a strong team. And they're just very physical, and they have a great quarterback. And the Broncos are going to be a tough team if you don't come and play. They'll beat you. If you don't come to play, they'll beat you, man. You know, and Russell Wilson, he's a gamer. He's going to bring it every time. And he's a professional, man. So he does everything good, everything right. And so can't wait, guys. So anybody hit me up on the comments. Anybody want to go watch the first game together? You can buy me a beer. Let me know. If you know a good spot, we can go watch the game together. We can vlog it, and we'll get our live reactions to the game on our vlog. I'm not gonna be live, but you know what I'm saying. I preferably a little QE Raider fan. You know what I'm saying? Follow that Raider Baddies channel. You know, the Raider Hotties or some shit. Where if you're a cutie girl and you wear a Raider shirt, you send it to them. They'll post you on it. Anyway, shout out to all my Raider fans. Let's go 1-0, baby. Let's do this. Protect that ball. Be smart. Stay safe. You know, to all you Raider fans, let's make it to the first game, man. Live slow. Live at peace. Follow your dreams. Chase your dreams. And be positive. Peace. Subscribe. Take care.